Hello everybody. We are going to make dough today, and I have my guest Jefra is on again, the amazing talented Jefra. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
The other day I put a picture on my Instagram feed and it was pizza dough, and I said, just whip up some dough. If you don't have any groceries, just whip up some dough and you can sprinkle some things on. And Jefra commented and she's like, yeah, you say just whip up some dough. Like, it's so easy. And so I thought, since we're having Jefra on today, that we'd whip up some dough. So do you want to whip up some dough?
I would love to learn how to whip up some dough.
Okay, so we're actually doing, it's a dough that is very versatile. It's really easy. I told Jefra beforehand that it's kind of blasphemous to actual bread dough makers. Like those people who spend 3 days making a dough. Yeah. It's kind of a blasphemous dough to that.
I like to blaspheme.
It's easy though, right? Yeah. And you can make it into pizza dough and bread dough. And then also you can make it into flatbread on the stove, which we're going to do that.
Nice.
Okay, so this is all you do. I'm making a huge giant thing of it.
Hey.
So you get a kitchen scale, and you know what? If you don't have one, it's totally invest in one. It's really, really, really important. Okay, and then I'm just going to put this on pounds since we're in America. We're not doing grams. We're going to do pounds. Okay, super easy. Okay, 3 pounds of water. And this water is just a little bit warm, so.
What is roughly 3 pounds of water?
I have no idea. I wish I knew. Actually, we're like 3 ounces short, so I'm going to put this here and have one of our assistants put a little bit more water in there. And while that is happening, we'll do the salt. So we have actually a lot of salt. 2 tablespoons of salt. It seems like a lot, but we're filling this all the way up.
Okay.
So this is gonna mess our poundage up off a little bit, but it'll work. So no worries.
See?
If you hear water running in the background, it's just.
You're so flexible with this.
I know, right? Yeah. I know. You have to be. You know what? This particular dough is super flexible, so I love that. And then we have a tablespoon. This is just instant yeast. This is also blasphemous to the really good dough makers.
Yes.
But you know what? You can make like homemade dough out of this, and you can save that when you have 3 extra days on your hand.
Yeah, I know.
On your hands. You know what I'm saying. Then you can make that really awesome dough. So we've got 1 tablespoon plus about a teaspoon. I'll put all the measurements up so that at home people aren't like, what? Plus about a half teaspoon. So we've got about 4.5 teaspoons in here is what we've got. Okay, and then, the assistants are so awesome. We have our water back here.
Oh.
So we're gonna do that up to a little bit more because we put those other ingredients in. Okay. And then we need 4 pounds of flour. So we're on 3 pounds of water now. We need 4 pounds of flour. So what should this say when we're when we're done?
So we're going for 7
We're going
pounds.
for 7. Good job. So I have this new. Have you seen this?
No.
This new stuff. It's pretty rad. It's sprouted whole wheat flour. So it's been sprouted, so it's a little bit more easily digestible for some people who have a difficult time digesting flour. The problem is you cannot use all of this because it's really low in gluten and it just doesn't make a good dough. So we're just going to use a little bit of this. Okay. And honestly, Jefra, you don't even need to know how much. You just put some in.
Okay.
As long as you're up at your 7-pound mark with your flour.
Okay. Okay. That makes
sense. We're
just
going to make sure that we use a little less than half. And then we have some organic unbleached white flour here.
Okay.
Yeah, you can totally, of course, I would love that. Thank you. Yes. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost up to 6. Awesome.
Just a little more.
Okay, and then guess what? I'm going to make you mix this.
With my hands again?
Yes. Yeah, you're so good with your hands. You're an artist. Oops. We're at 7.1, and guess what? It will not matter. Seriously, it's so forgiving. Okay. Ready to dig in?
Okay.
This is called a no-knead recipe because you're not really supposed to knead it, but I like to knead it a little bit.
Okay.
So go ahead. You're going to be your whole hand's going to be covered with dough.
So
but you said you like putting your hands in dough, right?
Yeah, it's like Play-Doh, for sure.
Right?
So this water's kind of lukewarm is what it is.
Yeah, totally fine. It's kind of, it works really well because what we do is we let it sit for some hours. So you don't have to spend very much time on this dough. You do have to set it aside and let it sit for some hours. So Jefra's just going to mix it up, and then we're going to let it sit out on the counter for about 3 hours. And then after that, it's going to be puffed up to about here because it will be super, super risen. And then we're going to put it in the fridge. And you can leave it in your fridge for 2 weeks. Whoa. And you can just pull pieces of dough off of it.
Really?
Yes. So you just keep mixing. Easy. Here, we can actually take it off.
Do you want me to keep going here?
Totally keep going. Yeah. Okay. So I've got some already done dough right here.
Oh, good.
You can just keep it. And I'm going to put this right here.
You want me to swap with you?
Yeah, let's swap places. You didn't know that you were in for this, did you?
Oh my.
Okay, so I've got kind of a hot plate right here, this hot plate, and it's been on high, and I'm gonna get our pan. It's starting to get hot. Okay, so I'm just dumping some olive oil in there. Okay, Jefra.
Yes, I'll move my...
You can pretend like you're done if you want to.
I'll move my hands in my dough over here.
I'm just gonna put a little flour on this dough that's already done.
It's beautiful, by
Isn't
the
it
way.
pretty?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm really hungry and I don't have any bread made and I don't have time to make a pizza, I'll just literally pull off a chunk of the dough from the fridge. And remember, again, it stays good for 2 weeks. And then I just kind of stretch it out. Do you want to have a turn stretching it out?
Yes,
Here, let's do this. This is what I do at home.
Is that right?
I just scrape, 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 scrape. Okay, so got my pan here. While Jeffrey's washing up in the background, I'm going to lay that out. And it's starting to sizzle. I don't know if you can hear that. And it's going to shrink a little bit, and that's totally fine, no worries. We're going to put a little bit more olive oil on the top of that. There's a towel right there, Jefra.
Okay, I feel like a new woman.
Yay!
Okay.
Okay, and then I just grabbed spices. I have paprika and dill. You can put whatever you want on there. I've even done like some curry. It's kind of strange, but... And if you need flour to use...
Perfect. It's so
Isn't it cool?
Simple to... Yeah, this is really cool.
Okay, do you want to put the dill on? You can grab the dill and just sprinkle a little dill on here.
Okay. It's no big deal. Sorry, I'm sorry. Sorry.
No, I love that.
Oh my God.
Jeffrey, see why I love you so much?
Oh my
It's no
word.
big deal. And then I also like to put a little salt on there too. It gives it a nice buttery flavor along with the olive oil.
So good.
And then since we don't have spatula, I'm just going to grab this one from back here because you know me. I'm like improv.
Oh, yes.
Miss Improv here.
And it's kind of rising.
Yeah, it'll start rising because of the yeast in there.
I've never seen, well, I guess, I've never seen bread quite like this, where it's fried, but not fried.
Yeah, and so if you wanted to use it for pizza dough, I would roll it out because you don't want a crust that's big and poofy and fat, although sometimes I do that and it's delicious.
How thin should you go for pizza dough?
You don't have to go too thin, but it'll give you a really nice rise if it's like as thin as the middle of that was.
Okay.
So what you'd want to do if you're making pizza is turn your oven as high as it can go.
Okay.
Have you ever been to those pizza places and they cook in a wood fire and it's like 700, 800 degrees in there?
Yeah.
Our ovens only go to about 500 unless you have some awesome oven that I don't know about.
No.
So turn your oven as high as it can go. That will give you a really nice authentic pizza. And then let's pretend like this is our little mini pizza, okay?
And then you put it in for how long?
Just till it's nice and brown. I never know. I always just look at it.
Oh.
So you know what? Let's pretend like this is our little counter at home. And you would just get your pizza dough and you roll it out. That might be blasphemous to pizza makers too, but I just roll it out. And then you just put your toppings on there. And I always put it on a piece of parchment paper actually.
Oh really?
And, yeah, a pan and a piece of parchment paper. You put your pizza toppings, you put it in there, and then when it just looks beautiful, when it looks like you can't go one more minute without eating it, then that's when it's ready.
Okay,
it's nice and brown and nice and melty cheese. Go ahead.
I have a question then. So I've seen it before where you like cook the dough and then put the toppings on and cook it? Or which way do you do that?
You can do that, but I've never done it.
So
for
you
a
just
real
put it
pizza, put it on the dough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So this is nice and brown on this side, so we'll turn it over here. And since we don't have our actual spatula, everything's just so, watch out, Jefra.
Oh man, that looks good.
And then if you wanted to make bread,
Yes.
we're gonna make a little tiny thing of bread.
Yes.
You just get your dough. I just literally go like this. I make it in a little ball. Pretend like this is giant. And then I put it again on parchment paper.
Okay.
Like that. And I'd sprinkle it with a little flour. And then I would make some slits in it with a knife. I don't have a knife right now. Just make some slits and that will help it to rise even bigger.
Okay.
And I do it in a 400-degree oven. Just pop it in there.
for as long as it takes to be brown and yummy.
When it looks nice and brown and it smells really delicious, you can actually thump the side of it like this, and if it sounds hollow, that almost always means it's done.
Oh man, that smells.
And then bread too.
Let's see.
How it's looking.
To smell.
Ooh, it's looking good. Let's put it on our.
Okay, here it comes.
Yeah, ready, set, go. There we go. Okay, Jefra, it's pretty hot. You want to try it?
Yeah, I do.
Let's get a piece for you. Just don't burn your mouth, okay?
Can I turn this?
Oh yes, please. I hope you don't mind me blowing on.
No.
Here, I'm gonna try some with you.
Oh, okay. It feels like nice and
just like bread.
And, oh my word.
Don't burn yourself.
Shut up. This is so good.
It's good, huh?
Oh my gosh.
So super easy. So you're done. This goes in my fridge for 2 weeks. Well, except for we usually eat it in one.
You've changed my life forever.
Aww. Jefra, thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I love it.
Good, good.